All right. Will this work now? I mean, what is going on? What is going on? I was trying to stream earlier around noon, like I normally do, but you know, the upload speed was completely shot for some particular reason. Like I said, the download is fine. The upload is like, it's like something's weighing it down, pulling it down. What is that? Huh? Is there a conspiracy behind that? Is there a reason behind that? I don't know. That's not what I pay for. You know, I pay for a steady connection. Like I said, download those fine. You wouldn't notice unless you're streaming or uploading something. It got so bad, or even a post on Twitter, just like it took 5 minutes to post something. The upload speed was like 0.3. I was like, what is this? Nonsense. You know, you go through the troubleshooting thing on Xfinity. They send a reboot to your to your device. They say wait 12 minutes. Okay, I guess they waited 12 minutes. The device is back up. Everything is running, sort of. The upload speed was still shot, and I was trying to get through. A device restarted. It's still, upload speed is still shit. Oh, you know, and it's a bot. You're going through a chat bot. I'm like looking for a number to call. I don't see a number to call. I just see a freaking chat bot, and then the chat bot's off. Device reboot is still going on. Wait 12 minutes. You'll receive a text when it's over. Okay. I haven't received the text. The device is back on, and everything seems to be going. I just can't upload still. Okay. Still, I waited 12 minutes after that. Dicked around with the chat bot, saying, "Hey, upload speed is still shot." Oh, you gotta wait 12 more minutes because device is still restarting. It's like, are you kidding me? Okay, this thing is garbage. So I just pretty much got on my knees and prayed. I don't know if that did anything, because at this point, I don't know. But the upload speed was steady around 3, which is low. I need at least 5 for these basic streams, you know. 3 will be fine. This seems to be steady right now. How you guys doing? Normally do this around noon. I'm a lunch break, you know. You do that sort of thing. Work from home, have a lunch break. And then take care of my calls later on after that. Stuff I have to do. A lot of calls. And people want that trailer park supply. You know what I'm talking about. They want that trailer park fix. All right, so I want to talk about labels and smears. I also want to talk about how looks like Hold the Line isn't so holding. I don't know. They know they're putting information out there. They got to one of our boys. here. The whole GameStop thing. He caved. He sold because all he can do is sell, because they're not allowing you to buy. Talk about market manipulation, right? They won't let you buy more GameStop stock. I tried to buy some last night. It would not happen. It wouldn't happen. They restrict you from buying, but you could sell. Of course he's selling. But don't lose faith. Don't be of little faith there. Don't be discouraged. Okay? From what I understand, Reddit Wall Street Bets is still on it. Still on it. That's for sure. Let's see. But one thing I want to talk about here, because I'm not a Wall Street guy. You don't want to hear about stock market advice from me. Come on. That'd be horrible. What I will say, though, is I'm very much aware of the smears and labels they place on anyone who's part of Wall Street Bets. And that's even the guys that are not even part of Wall Street Bets that just hopped on and thought it was funny or wanted to buy some stock in GameStop. I mean, look, at GameStop. I used to work at EB Games. That was one of my jobs. EB Games was bought out by GameStop. They actually sold to GameStop. They were very similar. They're very similar. Would it sell those edge cards? So you know I'm telling the truth. Would sell those edge cards. They'll give you I think a 10% discount No, I think it was actually a 5% discount. It was a pretty small discount. Ugh, my dog. Hold on one second. Yeah, if you can't buy, how can one sell it? Right? That doesn't make any sense. They want you to sell it off. They don't want you to buy anymore. It's weird about that, huh? And in 1 second. Okay. Yeah, that was annoying. That was annoying. I have a dog that will bark forever, never stop. I think if that dog was left to its own device, it would just bark forever, never stop, and annoy everybody. There's no ending with that. You know? It's like bark, 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 bark. I know we have squirrels in the backyard. I know the neighbor has a dog. But, like, once he gets started, he literally never stops. You might think, oh, this is hyperbole. You're just joking around. No, like, I sat there. I was like, how long will it take for this dog to stop barking? I will wait 10 minutes. 10 minutes straight, the dog will bark. 10 minutes straight, the dog will bark. I mean, he has to be brain dead. He has to have some brain damage for that to happen, right? He bark for 10 minutes straight. 10 minutes straight. Wow. Can't believe that. It's okay. It's like, okay, let me wait 20 minutes. By the time 20 minutes happened, I was like, yeah, okay, I need to bring him in before the police come over here again. This dog, believe it or not, barked for so long and so loud that one of the neighbors, and this neighbor moved out of the neighborhood, probably because of the dog, but his neighbor called the police on me. Why? Because my dog won't stop barking. That's why. It doesn't. It's like, what? I was surprised by that. I was like, you're out here for what reason? Oh, because we have a complaint about a noisy dog. Yeah. I got a noisy dog. My dog barks forever. He just doesn't stop barking. All right. I'm just checking something real fast. All right, should be good. Okay, so yeah, labels and smears, man. I mean, it's what happened with Wall Street Bets. It's what happened with anyone who purchased some GameStop stock when that stuff was going on. And the hedge fund managers were pissed because they're losing money, crying because they're losing money. What they do? They just target everybody. They're like, oh, they are conservative, or oh, they're, because that's the new smear, right? Oh yeah, they pretty much made conservative be like the equivalent of being a, well, let's not beat around the bush about it, a Nazi, right? I mean, that's what they're trying to do. I mean, you have people literally on the left right now, like AOC, whatever, they're trying to trying to make it seem as if anyone who's conservative is equivalent to that of like the Taliban or some shit, or Al Qaeda. It's like, come on now, are you kidding me? This is insane. And then you have people, you got mainstream media outlets pushing this stuff, like, with a straight face. I don't know how they keep it together, because they have to be aware that's a freaking joke. They have to be. I mean, I would think that they wouldn't think for a second that people would actually believe in it, but they pay for those articles. They spend that time writing that crap, that garbage. Sure, they believe it, and they think you, the common person, are dumb enough to believe what they're selling, what they're putting out there. Oh, that all the people who bought the stock are conservative, white supremacists, alt-right, all sorts of stuff. It's like, okay, man, you just continue crying. It makes me happy when you cry. I'm gonna buy more if I could. But yeah, labels and smears, man. That's all it is. Like, that's what you notice. Like, it's not just about the stock market, but that's a prime example of how they use smears and labels to tar and feather you, to make you seem like the other, make you seem like the enemy. That way, it's easy to do anything towards you. Anyway, it's easy to lock you up. It's easy to get the government to use their guns, their tools, the things that they have to control you, to limit you, to put you down. All right? Because if they can vilify you, if they could dehumanize you, make it seem like you are an easy target for everyone, and justify what they're doing, then that gives them, they already have the reason, they already have the motivation. They just need to make you a like, you're already a target in their eyes. They just need to justify it. They just need to make it where it's justifiable to anyone else who sees it on surface level. Oh, we went after these people because they're Trump supporters, or because they just don't know any better. They're ignorant. They just don't know what's going on. Dude, it's just buying stock. That's all it is. It's just buying some stock. That's all it is. Don't know any better. Shit. I'm just buying stock. That's it, brother. But we've seen this for quite a while, right? We've seen this. Like, people, it doesn't have to do with politics. It isn't just exclusive to politics. What I'm talking about here, labels and smears. How's the stream, by the way? Is it holding up? Probably not. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it's not exclusive to politics. It's also in things like we've known for quite a while. I mean, you can see it. You can't talk, let's say, gender. You can't talk about gender. You can't talk about gender without, and if you do talk about gender, you have to repeat the opinion, the official approved opinion that gender is a construct, and that there's 26 different, 2,000 genders out there. And whatever you feel, you have to say that. You have to tweet that. If you say anything different, if you say anything that deviates from that, Like if you go, I don't know, that number might be too high, or I don't know, it seems like you guys are just kind of basing this on feels, not science. They label you as, using a label, as a bigot. They smear you as some sort of transphobe or something, when really you're just like, no, words have meanings. Gender has a meaning. You could say maybe part of it is like a social construct, a social scripts that we prescribe to one another based on gender. Yeah, sure, that's fine. But to just throw the whole thing out as if it's just J-U-S-T, a construct, meaning that it could just be destroyed and done with. That's that case, and that tells me you could apply that same thing to just about any word, like let's say mom, father, brother, sister, just constructs by that same logic, which of course that's what they're doing. I mean, in their effort to destroy the traditional family. I mean, come on. But if you talk about that, if you go into that sort of rabbit hole if you go down that rabbit hole, they'll then label you as some sort of, they would label you as crazy. They'll smear you, be like, oh, you're just a bigot, you're a transphobe, all this stuff. But no, we start off something simple. I'm just talking about gender, yo. I'm saying there's only two. That's it. Just two. And still, I've said this before. I've said it many times every time I talk about gender. Prove me wrong. There's more than two. When they're like in the trans community, what are they trying to do? Like men that want to become women, what do? They take on the stereotypical gender identifiers, if you will, so that they look more like a woman. You don't see any trans person taking on stereotypical gender identifiers of some third gender, because there's not a third fucking gender. It's just made up. That's made up. It doesn't fucking exist. But you talk about that, you say that, they label you like some sort of bigot. It's like, no, like I have questions. If you want to entertain the answer, or if you want to try to answer it, I'll entertain it for a little while, but show something, But instead of having a dialogue, it's easier to label you as the other, smear you with that label, and of all the vile stuff that comes along with that label. That way you are then easy to target. They could take you down. It's crazy, right? But that's how it works. That's how it works. And based on that, using labels and smears, you see that people actually form like tribes. People have become much more tribal now. And you can't have any sort of discourse. You can't have any dialogue. You can't have any conversation, because if you say the wrong thing, you are targeted by that tribe, and they accuse you of being a part of the evil tribe, the one that's banished, the one that will be banished, and the platforms will be banished. I mean, let's go back to gender. You could actually have this idea. Maybe it's based on religion. Maybe it's based on science. But it doesn't matter. You could say, well, it's my opinion, Dad. Gender's two, only two genders. They'll say it don't matter. It goes against their science, which I mean, you want to be real here, isn't even really science. Talking about what? Social science? Talking about like social studies? Something like that? No, man. That's not fucking science. It's made up bullshit. If that's science, then let's bring back penis envy. Freudian's penis envy. Let's bring that back. Because that might explain why a lot of women really hate men. Really hate them. They seem to be envious of something. Yeah. Labels, smears, man. You see it. They apply that whenever there's something that threatens them, when there's something that they want to take down. You see it coming in various industries all around you. Just look at what's happening. Like you see it in games, you see it in comics, you see it in movies, where you see people using labels, applying those labels on people, and smearing them with that stuff just because they don't like a certain character, just because they object to a change, just because they are just voicing an opinion about a change. Maybe they like Batwoman to be white. Maybe they're like, I thought Batwoman was supposed to be white, or now Batwoman's black. Just voicing that, and then now that makes you a racist. It's like, no, I was just voicing an opinion that I had, and I like black people, but I was just saying, I guess, but no, they smear you, they target you, and they smear you, which is funny, because let's not pretend like where this is coming from, right? Let's not pretend like we don't know where this is coming from. I should say, the people that are very vocal about using labels and smears, and this does happen from the right as well, okay? But you get a lot of it on the left. When I say left, I mean talking like far. I'm talking like the people that will. Let me give you some examples, okay? The people rioting last summer for BLM and Antifa and all that stuff, the peaceful protests, if you will, what were they shouting at the cops? Especially the black cops, right? And these people were very supposed to be progressive and left. They were for change. They were, these are the same people that will criticize you if you use the N-word. They will call you a racist if you think if you object to Batman becoming black or Superman becoming black. They'll call you a transphobe if you say there's more than two gender, or if you don't think there's more than two genders. Okay. These virtuous people were the same that will shout nigger, and I say that word so that what you understand. I'm not making this up, and you know this for a fact. They will use that word at black officers and justify it because they're a black man with a badge, and that makes them the other. That makes them evil. When instead of actually taking the time to ask that officer, that individual, hey, what's your story? Why did you become an officer? Can you explain that to me? And, they would probably maybe take time out of their day to explain it to you, because that is a story to tell. And there's a reason for that, if you would just listen. But I'm telling you, the people who spout those labels, do those smears, they're not interested in a dialogue. They're not interested in a conversation. They just want to tar and feather and humiliate and destroy. That's what they want. That's what they want. And we've been seeing this for years. This has been going on for a long time. It's been ramping up. The tar and feathering, especially against each other, against other Americans. Yeah, sure, I guess you could say. Who started first, the right or left? I'm not sure. I don't want to go down that road. That doesn't matter. It's happening. And do I do it too? Sure, yeah. I'm pretty sure I do at times. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure I do when I when I express certain views about furries, maybe. Certain people, they do certain criminal things to minors. But those things, I take exception to. Furries should probably go to a special island. They can make it fun. And PEDOs, cheese pizza connoisseurs, well, they can go to one of those Chinese camps. If China were to come out and say, hey, actually, all those Uyghurs in those camps, they're actually going through rigorous training how to not be a pedophile, then, the world might be on board. The world might be on board on that. It's like, well, that's a lot of pedophiles you have there. A lot of potential pedophiles you have in those camps. But, okay, well, be like... But, yeah, the labels, the smears, man, it's crazy. I think it's funny now that when people see from the media and the Wall Street guys trying to label and smear, all those that just bought stocks, that's all it was, and mess with their bottom line, and mess with their money, And you see them throwing out those labels so quickly and trying to compare anyone who bought stock as a Nazi or something. I call it Trumpism, which is a made-up term and doesn't mean anything. Yeah, they call it Trumpism. I mean, it's blatantly obvious what they're trying to do. They're trying to, as you know, everyone who is part of that's hurting their money, right? Hurting their bottom line, hurting their pockets. They're trying to make it to where it's easy for the government to take certain action against them. They're trying to make it where they're hoping for that society, that other people in society would take certain action and use shame to correct itself. To sort of have them submit. That's been working in the past. The tar and feathering, the label and smears based on, being called a transphobe when you question the logic behind more than two genders, when you question that logic, or when you question the logic of having men that now are women compete with women. When you ask questions about that, they'll just call you a transphobe. And if you try to defend yourself, you'll have those that are not even part of that woke crowd, but that just believe everything that they're told. They might buy into it and then accuse you as well as being a transphobe or not wanting to have anything to do with you because you're a, quote, transphobe. That's what happens. I don't know. Have you found yourself catching yourself talking about certain things around certain people because you just don't know how they're going to respond to it, right? That's you policing your language, policing what you could talk about based on not the fear of being locked up, not the fear of being thrown off Twitter or anything, but just the concern that that person might see you in some sort of vile way, right? Might see you as the enemy or something else over nonsense, over just a concern, over a question, over an opinion, right? Over an opinion. And it could be something like a small, like gender, right? Something as small, like I think an obvious thing about, that dude clearly looks like a dude, but he says he's a woman. He's going into the woman's locker room. He's really looking at those naked girls, and he's rubbing himself. Shouldn't that be a concern? No, I'm a bigot for pointing that out. So we're just all pretending it's all make believe here, That's what I feel anymore. I feel like we're living in like make believe land, but we're not. This is reality. It's reality. That's what's fucked up about it. When they can label and smear you to the point, and you weaponize that to the point to where you are afraid to talk about. You are afraid to talk about simple things like that. Talk about the things that really matter, like men competing with women in women's sports. Okay, that matters. That matters. Or as a 16-year-old boy claiming to be a woman going into the women's locker room while they change for volleyball class. You know what he's doing in there. Oh, he's playing on the volleyball team too. Except he's always in the back. He's always in the back. And when he runs into the girls, watch that hand, man. These are things you should be able to talk about. But no, you can't. You can't even. You definitely can't even talk about it on the internet, like a Twitter, Facebook. If you talk about something and you're out of line with your opinion, if it's not the official endorsed opinion, the correct opinion, you're kicked off. That's it. Like your views on abortion. If you're Catholic and you think abortion's wrong, if you are, I'm troubled by abortion. I think that is definitely not a form of birth control. That should be like the last resort. And it should be something that is not just all willy-nilly, let's just abort a baby today because I don't have plan B. Ladies know that there's all sorts of options available, right? There's birth control, which works if you take it consistently. There's condoms. They work as long as you don't get the cheap ones and poke a hole in that shit. There's UTDs, which work very well. They put like a little device in there, so it stops. It stops the sperm from reaching the egg. Okay, it stops that. Makes it impossible for that to happen. So I mean, you utilize those, you won't need abortion. And people say, "Oh, they're so expensive, so expensive." Condoms are fucking cheap. They give them out at the fucking clinic. Okay. And then you got Plan B. Huh. Plan B is like a little home abortion kit. Let's take that today, the next day. Kill it fast. Abort this thing. But if you were to talk about your views on abortion on Twitter, oh, you can get kicked off. You can get kicked off. Oh, I'm sorry. Your views about being pro-life and loving babies, that's not valued here. We're on Twitter, our official stance is we're for killing babies, and that's what we go with. We don't want you to talk about it. It'll be like, oh, because it could be hateful. It's opinion that someone may not like and they have a hard time dealing with it. It's like, so fucking what? We all have fucking opinions that people may not fucking like. We're all not going to get along. Or, sorry, we're not all going to agree. We're definitely not all going to get along. We can agree to disagree at the end of it. Be like, I think you're wrong. I think you're an idiot. But you know what? Whatever, dude. You stay in your area, I'll stay in my area. But it's not like that. I think right now, though, of course, what's really crazy, like I talked about with the gender stuff, that stuff, it's really easy to get thrown off. You can't even misgender someone by accident. You have to say the right pronoun. What is your right pronoun? Oh, it's in your bio. Okay, all right. In your bio, it says you're a fairy. Is that how I'm supposed to identify you? You're a fairy? Okay. Oh, what if, you know, in my bio, I'm gonna call myself like oh, we just assholes that call themselves Jesus or God. Are you supposed to entertain that? Huh? What if they identify as like an earth dragon or some sort of weird stuff? Are you supposed to identify that? What if I identify as a tiger? Am I supposed to what are you supposed to address me as the Tiger King, the real Tiger King? And if you don't, I call Twitter up, the CEO of Twitter, be like, hey, Jack Dorsey, hey, can you get rid of this guy? He's throwing hate speech in my way. He's not using the correct pronoun to address me, which is tiger. Okay? It's so stupid. They'll call you a bigot for using the wrong pronoun. Not knowing. Even if you do know afterwards you use the wrong pronoun, don't really say, oh, now you're just being a bigot. No, in my worldview, all that pronoun stuff doesn't make any sense. You want me to call you a zer. What the hell is a zer? Okay, a z. What is this? We're just making up stuff. No, I will call you what I think you are. How about that? Oh, that's hate speech. No, you don't know what hate speech is. And you saying that's hate speech is really belittles all those that have actually experienced real hate speech. But what am I? Who am I, right? I can't even talk about that because I'm a white guy. You know, because all white guys are racist, racist and privileged, all that stuff. That's funny too. You could be a poor white guy, a trailer trash white guy, and you'll hear on Twitter, and if you spend any time on Twitter, which they probably don't, you hear on Twitter that you are, it's not just that though, it's also in the news too, isn't it? You'll hear that you are privileged, that your life is so much better. It's like, I'm on government assistance, I'm driving a car that breaks down, live in a trailer that's torn apart, there's roaches all over the place, I spray, but because I live next to a creek, where they just thrive, or because my neighbor doesn't take care of his trailer, you know, they thrive and they just kind of migrate over. Okay, I have to deal with that. I'll do with the rats that come from the creek. You say I'm privileged? You see, I'm privileged now. How am I privileged? How am I privileged? Oh, because I'm white? Because I don't get shot when I get pulled over by a cop? Except for the fact that lots of white guys do get shot. I mean, it's actually more white guys that get shot than black guys. But until you do the per capita thing, when you do the per capita thing, be like, well, in ratio, it's more. It's like, oh, come on now. Don't be funny with the numbers. And I don't really care to have that pissing contest. I don't even want to have that pissing contest. But like, you find yourself here because you're labeled privileged, even if you're a poor white guy. As a white guy that grew up poor, that does bother me. group in the trailer. Fun times, fun times. I could tell you about ketchup sandwiches. I could tell you about some bare bones stuff, man, that you have to eat. But yeah, I wanted to take a moment to talk about labels and smears. And really wanted to see if I could test my upload speed now. It seems to be steady. That's good. I'm gonna have to wrap this up early and take care of some stuff. But I'll probably be on later on tonight, honestly. And that's the way things be going, huh? But yeah. You guys take it easy. You have a good one, man.